Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a child transported to a hospital after an injury at a local daycare in Victoria.
Victoria County Sheriff Justin Marr weighs in on illegal immigration in the Crossroads.
And a vehicle crashes into a school fence in Calhoun County.
And we have the latest on the game of the week between two area squads in sports. That's coming up.
And you're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Today at about 12:40 p.m., Victoria Police responded to the 100 block of Cozy Circle Drive for a call regarding an injured child. The child transported to an out-of-town hospital and is in stable condition. This is an ongoing investigation. Governor Greg Abbott today announced he directed the Texas Division of Emergency Management to send additional buses to Eagle Pass and El Paso. These are in addition to the state bus operations in Brownsville, Del Rio, Laredo, and McAllen. To board a bus, a migrant must volunteer to be transported and show documentation of their release from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Texas has bused over 40,000 migrants to sanctuary cities across the country.
And with the issue of illegal immigration at the border, Victoria and the Crossroads have also been dealing with this ongoing issue. Yesterday, we heard from Goliad County Sheriff Roy Boyd, and today we hear from Victoria County Sheriff Justin Marr. Just this month, over 140,000 migrants were apprehended at the border. So the issue of illegal immigration has come to the forefront of not just Texas politics, but is now in the national spotlight with Governor Abbott's move to bus migrants to sanctuary cities. And Sheriff Marr says his department deals with the surge of illegal narcotics and weapons in addition to human smuggling caused by illegal immigration.
Over the last 3 years, Victoria County and the whole region has been inundated with illegal, results of this open border policy that we have. Illegal immigration. But what a lot of people aren't aware of is there's a double side to an open border. Is we have a lot of narcotics going north, and then we have weapons and firearms going south. And with the fentanyl mix in all the narcotics now, it's dangerous for everybody, especially our youth. They don't know what is in what they're taking. So I mean, it's affected us in many different ways. As far as in the flow of the migrants, that comes and goes. They'll come through the area real thick for a while, and then they'll find another route. That fluctuates. I'm expecting an increase soon with what we see going on around the Eagle Pass area.
Marr says Texas and America will need to close its border and that this country and state cannot handle this influx, adding that it will still take years before we even begin to see the full effects of this increase in illegal immigration. The surge in migrants suggests the new policies implemented by the Biden administration in May, which at first lowered the numbers, are now losing impact. Those policies make it harder for migrants to seek asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border and easier for them to seek lawful entry into the U.S. from their home country. But the surge is now in the thousands, overwhelming border cities. On Wednesday, the Biden administration offered temporary legal status to Venezuelan migrants already in the United States.
Here's your viewer poll. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, do you feel well informed on Biden's border policies, yes or no? According to these results, 19% say yes and 81% stand at no. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10. This morning, just before 11 a.m., Victoria police were on the scene of a two-vehicle crash on North Navarro Street in front of H-E-B. Police report a Chevy truck ran a red light and hit the red SUV. Both drivers now face citations. The driver of the Chevy for running the red light and the driver of the red SUV for no insurance. No major injuries were reported.
Calhoun County ISD officials say no children were injured after a car plowed through the fencing at HJM Elementary School this morning around 11:15 and ended up stuck between a wall and the fence. The Port Lavaca Wave reports the driver was treated at the scene, but no one else was injured. The scene is under investigation. 5 beaches in the Crossroads will be a part of tomorrow's Adopt a Beach cleanup. Magnolia Beach at Indianola and Kingfisher Beach at Port O'Connor. And Calhoun County will get the cleanup, as will Sargent and Matagorda beaches and Palacios in Matagorda County. The Adopt a Beach cleanup runs from 8:30 in the morning until noon tomorrow.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Yes, and we want to thank all the volunteers that are getting down there to clean up the beaches. Tomorrow is going to be a terrific day. Right about now, people are wondering, well, can I get to the football game? Well, we have a couple of little showers, but the good news is they're decreasing. In fact, the biggest one was out here in the Wharton area. That has collapsed as well. A few little showers even in Hallettsville, but they're all falling apart. So I think you're going to be good for football tonight. We'll have more information coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. Women in a southwest Houston neighborhood now a little more at ease.
This after a man accused of nearly abducting 6 women in that Houston area neighborhood has now been arrested.
As the sun settles over this Bel Air neighborhood, so do the fears of those who call it home.
I'm very happy that somebody like that is arrested.
Bel Air police say 29-year-old Amar Barkuda has spent the last 3 days terrorizing this neighborhood, nearly abducting 6 different young women.
He would follow them, stop the car, get out, and approach and try and engage them just in conversation. In a couple of cases, women were able to get away from him. In one case, he got very close to one of the victims.
They say Barkuda hit 4 different spots between Tuesday and Thursday. The last attacks came just this morning. Neighborhood surveillance video led to a description of Barkuda, and the beige Toyota Camry victims say he was driving ultimately led police to a traffic stop at this construction site at the intersection of Chimney Rock and Evergreen.
We dispatched officers into the area and were able to locate the suspect not too far away from where we received the calls. The construction likely slowed him down, and which is one of the reasons we were able to catch him.
And tonight we've learned it's not Barkuda's first run-in with police. As this week's attacks unfolded, court records reveal he was already out on bond, charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after holding 2 people hostage with a screwdriver at the Scottish Rite Masonic Center last summer in Southwest Houston. Neighbors say enough is enough.
It's a revolving door here in Houston, and this is something that needs to be addressed seriously.
We know this individual is dangerous and really needs to be off the streets.
The president of the United Auto Workers announced today workers at 38 General Motors and Stellantis plants in 20 different states walked out today. In Carrollton and North Texas, workers at this Stellantis Dallas Parts Distribution Center walked onto the picket lines at 11 a.m. The same thing happened at the GM Fort Worth Parts Distribution Center in Roanoke. The UAW targeting distribution centers in this expanded strike, but not production plants.
It means a lot to me for some various reasons. I came to work for GM because they were known back in the past to be one of the top companies to work for, best pay, best benefits, everything. And so over the years, I mean, that's just what we've been fighting to get back to and fighting for. And so at this point, you know, with all the things that are going on, I think that the fight and the person we got leading the fight is doing a good job.
Ford was spared additional strikes because the company has met some of the union's demands during negotiations over the past week.
In 8 days, the government is going to shut down if Congress fails to pass a funding bill to keep it running.
Today, the federal government's Office of Management and Budget started preparing for a potential shutdown, directing who could be sent home and who could be forced to work without a paycheck.
It's a looming shutdown, and Republicans and Democrats agree a potential congressional meltdown.
Let's face it. Your job when you come here is not to shut the government down, it's to run the government more efficiently. And by shutting it down, that's a cop-out.
With the clock ticking towards midnight Eastern, October 1st, when the federal government runs out of money, there's uncertainty on Capitol Hill about how to pass 11 spending bills or a short-term funding extension through both the House and the Senate.
I think our focus right now is to make sure we get the 3 most important bills across. That's our defense, Secondly, our border. And third, make sure we protect our veterans.
Halting the process, hardline Republicans demanding major spending cuts, revolting against House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Many Democrats are now doubtful the Speaker can come up with a solution in time.
No, I don't think he really has the whole thing figured out, to be honest. And even if he did, it wouldn't be an optimal solution or one that would sustain a vote from the Senate side as well.
The federal government is now preparing for a potential shutdown, asking agencies to review plans on which employees could be furloughed and which ones are considered essential. Those workers could stay on the job without pay, including air traffic controllers, Secret Service agents, FBI personnel, and staff at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
City of Victoria crews have been putting some key cosmetic touches on the new Welcome to Victoria sign, including the iconic established 1824 marker. 3 other entrances have been getting upgrades since 2020. A new Welcome to Victoria sign June 20th at U.S. Highway 77 and Tate Road should be finished by October. That will be the 4th Welcome to Victoria sign. Other locations that have been updated include the Bloomington Highway, U.S. Highway 87 from Cuero, and U.S. Highway 77 from Goliad. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a vigil for an Arlington police officer who was killed yesterday was held today in Dallas.
Also ahead, 2 more Texas schools join the lawsuit against the Texas Education Agency.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from Woodrow Wilson Wagner II, Restoration House Ministries, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, and we also get some grief and grieving tips.
Grief has a lot of stress that builds up. And as Pastor Green said before, releasing that stress is important. And when it isn't released, it can have some physical consequences.
The search continues for the hit-and-run driver who fatally struck an Arlington police officer Thursday morning.
Thursday evening, an Arlington police cruiser became a memorial to the fallen officer.
It's a hard day. We are devastated.
It was no doubt the hardest trip they've ever taken.
We are heartbroken.
Arlington police motorcycle officers led the procession, escorting the body of their fallen brother, Officer Darren McMichael, from the hospital to the Dallas County Medical Examiner's office.
I spent the good part of the morning at Baylor Hospital in Dallas with Officer McMichael's family. Please pray for them. They are grieving. They need your support now more than ever. His wife is also an Arlington police officer. We send our love to her as well.
We're told Officer McMichael's wife was following him into work and witnessed the fatal crash. The Dallas County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation.
So the motorcycle bumped the back of the SUV, and then the rider fell off to the left-hand side.
Investigators say someone driving a dark-colored Dodge or Chrysler sedan struck the officer and then continued on westbound I-20 between Dowdy Ferry and St. Augustine Road.
If anybody was in this area, has got dash cam video or saw anything, please let us know, because we're looking for that vehicle that ran over the individual.
Hey, please turn yourself in. We are hurting as an organization, and we need closure. And as I asked, anybody that have seen anything on the highway that morning or this morning, please contact the Dallas County Sheriff's Office.
Peer counselors have been brought in from departments across the area to support the Arlington police in their 9th line of duty loss.
Right now, we're still grieving, as an organization. He's going to be truly missed, not only by the department, but by our community.
2 more Texas school districts voted last night to join a lawsuit against the Texas Education Agency. Alief and Linder ISDs joined the suit in regards to the agency's accountability rating system. The lawsuit requests the TEA stop the publication of this year's accountability ratings to allow school districts to adapt to the new system. It also asks a judge to prevent the TEA from releasing scores that use the newest metrics.
State Fair of Texas will open its gates next week, and the iconic 50-foot tall Big Tex taking his place ahead of the season. Big Tex's skeletal structure, originally built in 1949 for a Christmas celebration in Cairns, Texas. Now, the Cairns Chamber of Commerce sold the figure to the State Fair of Texas for $750. On October 19, 2012, Big Tex was destroyed by an electrical fire, but he returned to the State Fair with a Texas-sized welcome back.
Howdy. Well, that sounds good. It's a good sign that, fall can't be that far away. Today, fairly quiet day. Now, late this afternoon, we did pop a few little showers, but the good news, they're all collapsing now that the sun is going down. We got up right now, we're at 93 degrees, but we did manage to get up to 97. Can you believe that? 97, and it's the last day of summer. Fall begins tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Big Friday night, lots of football around the area. We've got the game of the week is the Shiner Comanches and the Ganado Indians out at Shiner, Texas. They're partly cloudy. There's a 30% chance of showers, but I'm going to show you where the activity is right now. Game time temperature should start off at about 90 degrees. Now, let's see where the stadiums are going to be. Okay, we've got Shiner right about here. There was a shower activity that went through. We got Victoria Memorial Coliseum here, and we've got Industrial here, and then we've got Beeville down south. You can see how the shower activity did drift down to the region, but it's collapsing at this hour, so I think we're going to be in much better shape than we were last Friday when there was some big stuff around the area. So there's another view. There's Victoria right about there, so things are looking up. This is kind of the same pattern we're going to have on Saturday, with a few little garden variety showers sort of popping up and then decreasing, not lasting very long. North Texas is quiet right now, but it should start getting active when the frontal system starts to move down. This is going to be on Sunday, and you can see here that we've gone all the way to Wednesday. So between now and then, how much rain could we get? Well, possibility of a ½ an inch. So when will the best stuff? The best stuff would be Monday night into Tuesday morning. Observed highs around the area today is 96 down in Port Lavaca, 97 for us, 98 up in Austin. You can see it's still, I don't know, it's almost fall, and look at these temperatures, 100 degrees for tomorrow. Will we see 100 degrees in fall? That's going to be an interesting one. Those are the forecast highs for tomorrow. Now, we are, of course, looking at the storm systems. I look for this stuff beginning now. Look to the north, because the big Rocky Mountain storm is developing here. That's going to be rolling across the plain, so it's not really coming in our direction, except the tail end of this front is going to drift down into the state, and that's going to be probably Sunday night. They used to have it Sunday night into Monday night. We'll be moving through here, and then we'll watch and wait to see if we get any kind of rain out of it. Well, you heard about Ophelia. Ophelia, we knew it was going to happen. We didn't know that it was going to become a tropical storm. It is now a tropical storm, and Ophelia is going to be a huge problem for the Carolinas and all the way up into Washington. There you see the storm track, which takes it right on shore. So with very little notice, they're going to have tropical storm force winds across the Delmarva all the way up to New Jersey, right about there. And then down south, this is going to be Philippe. If it organizes, and I do believe it will organize, this one will stay very far south and probably affect the Lesser Antilles. So what about us? Well, if you got a little chance to do a little fishing tomorrow morning on Saturday, we've got a sunrise at 7:16 in the morning, sundown at 7:20. It's getting earlier and earlier. And of course, we're looking for a few little afternoon showers, but that will be in the afternoon. So 93 tomorrow's high in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, we're still looking partly cloudy, a few isolated showers, high of 97. And like I said, that's our pattern for the weekend until Monday night, when hopefully things get a little bit more interesting and we get a better chance of rain. We'll certainly have all the latest for you on Monday afternoon. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody, we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thanks, Mac. And now here's Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. We hear from the Refugio head football coach about last night's win. That's coming up after the break. At Crossroads, last night was the official start of Week 5 of Texas high school football between two Bobcats in the area. The Refugio Bobcats got the victory last night, winning 61-0, but head coach for Refugio, Jason Herring, said it's not the Bloomington of old anymore.
Yeah, well, it was good. You know, we had the forfeit last week, so we didn't get to play, so our kids were hungry to play. We had a great week of practice. I thought we came out tonight and did exactly what we needed to do. I was super proud of the way we played, especially defensively. Defensively, I thought we flew around, and we didn't play sloppy. I didn't want us to play sloppy football, so I was pleased with that.
The Bloomington Bobcats are taking on Shiner next week, while Refugio is going to prep for Three Rivers. It's Week 5 of the Texas high school football season, and an area team featured in the Game of the Week has yet to win a game this year. Sports reporter Zach Brown has the latest.
Well, thanks, Gino. Right now I'm here at Memorial Stadium, where pretty soon the Victoria West Warriors will be taking on Corpus Christi King, looking for their first win of the season. But this isn't our Game of the Week, but our Game of the Week does have a similar storyline when Ganado travels to Shiner to take on the Comanches for their first district showdown of the year. Shiner coming into this week at 0-4. This is new territory for a lot of these athletes and probably their fans as well. Shiner has not had a losing season since about 2010. No telling when's the last time they started 0-4. But the good news for the purple and gold, they get to turn the page. As head coach Daniel Bedeker said, those first 4 games of the year don't define anything. In fact, at practice, no one was hanging their heads. They continue to work hard. Looks like they're still enjoying the game. Senior Kyle Muhlstein said they've got it in the weight room. They just need to execute better on the field. Now, kickoff for this district showdown set for 7:30. Now, Refugio won last night over Bloomington, already got the first win in district play. So big game for Ganado and Shiner as they look to keep pace with the Bobcats as they hope to make this a tight district race throughout the year. We'll have highlights from this game and all of our area games coming up tonight at 10 on CFL. Reporting from Memorial Stadium, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports.
Thanks, Zach. The Victoria West Warriors are trying to get its first win of the season, and it would be big because it would also be the first district win as well. The West Warriors are coming off a bye week and have had plenty of time to prepare for this matchup against CC King, who was also off last week. Both teams come into tonight's game looking for their first win, and someone's going to get it. We'll have highlights for this one tonight at 10. Kickoff is at 7:30. Another game we have close eyes on tonight is between two undefeated teams, the Cuero Gobblers and the Beeville Trojans. The Gobblers are coming into tonight's game as the favorites, being ranked number 4 in the state. Beeville's offense is averaging 34 points per game. We will see which team comes out victorious. And that brings us to our question of the day. Which team do you think is going to win the Game of the Week between Ganado and Shiner? Let's go ahead and check that out. 77% say Ganado, and that means 23% say Shiner. As of now, people think the Indians are going to get revenge and win this one. Wow, that means people are projecting Shiner to start 0-5 this year. We will see if majority of y'all are right tonight at 10. We will have highlights and scores from around the area for Crossroads Football Live that you won't want to miss. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're going to be back in a moment. Hank Aaron's boyhood home returning to its original neighborhood in Alabama.
Finally tonight, the childhood home of baseball legend Hank Aaron on the move Friday morning. It's being relocated to the neighborhood in Mobile, Alabama, where he spent his childhood. The house had been on display at the Bay Bears Stadium, but the city of Mobile lost control and ownership of the stadium. City leaders say having the house there will preserve and highlight Aaron's legacy and attract visitors to the area. Little trivia for you. The night that Hank Aaron hit number 715, the home run to break Babe Ruth's record, the Braves teammate who was in the on-deck circle waiting to bat, Dusty Baker.
Oh, wow.
Astros manager Dusty Baker. How about that?
Was that year where there was 4 or 5 guys going for the 700?
No, that was years later.
Okay.
But Hank was the man who was carrying the load a whole time.
Wow.
Good stuff there.
Very good. All right, folks. Well, it's Friday night. The good news, last day of summer. We're looking at a 20% for tomorrow on your Saturday, and not bad on Sunday. The best chance for rain will be on Monday night when that little frontal system sort of trails through the area. Hopefully we'll get some much needed rainfall.
All right. Thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.